Hi, Rich Hoffman here. To answer the question, yes, we're going to arrest judges. Yes, if judges break the law, they're going to be in trouble. They are not above the law. Judges, if they do not uphold their duty or do their job, will be found accountable. And to answer any dispute about judges, judicial activism, standing against the Trump administration, President Trump was elected to do a job, and he's doing his job. And there are illegal aliens who are not supposed to be in the United States. They're undocumented people, and you're not allowed to do that. And you have to have basic border security. And you have these activist judges who have been all over the place and around the country in many jurisdictions, and they're pushing back and trying to stall the Trump agenda, voted by the people, and they thought that they were in charge of the law for some reason, and that they weren't going to be held accountable if they broke it. And Judge Dugan is one of those. She was arrested shortly after she tried to allow an illegal immigrant to escape as officers were there to apprehend him. She found out about it, and she tried to, I think she thought she was in some kind of Walt Disney movie or something, that she could give a wink and a nod and help the illegal immigrant escape. And there was time and money spent to come there to apprehend the guy. And she thought she could get away with it because she was a judge. And no, you can't. So you can't. You're not allowed to break the law. Judge or not judge, attorney, whoever you are, you're not going to be able to do it. There's also an ex-judge and his wife that were assisting illegal immigrants in New Mexico, and they were arrested as well. And this is part of what we've been expecting. It's been working in the background for a while. But when you have Pam Bondi as the Attorney General for the Department of Justice, and you have Kash Patel, and you have Dan Bongino, and all these people working on this issue, that we don't expect to see some padded room with boxing gloves. This is going to be bare knuckle fights that have needed to happen for a long time, and you have to make sure you do your diligence before you start, going crazy on these deportations. But this is what people voted for. And they expect the Department of Justice to bring justice to these issues. Can't allow illegal immigration to permeate your society. And if there was any question as to whether we could trust judges or not, obviously Judge Dugan had this guy in her courtroom, and as the arrest was about to happen, she found out about it. She went out and talked to him and realized that they were there to grab the guy, and she interfered with that procedure. And any judge should understand that's a big no-no. That's something that should probably get her some jail time, and really invalidated her as a judicial gatekeeper. Because when you show you're willing to break the law and you're going to use the law for your own personal vendettas, you identify yourself for life as someone that can't be trusted, and you have to be able to trust your judges. Judges they're not all powerful, and they certainly are not there to put on the brakes to a Trump administration and their Article 2 powers. And that needs to be a lesson to everybody in this war with the judiciary. They're an equal branch of government. But if you've ever worked in a hostile environment where you have co-equal branches of people who have to talk and correspond to each other, that doesn't mean it's going to not be it doesn't mean it's going to be a bloodless coup for any kind of activism that goes forward. Typically in those environments, you have equal powers checking each other. Don't be surprised if somebody doesn't turn out to be more better at that game than the others. And that's not what the Trump administration is not going to sit back and say, oh, all you robed, progressive, Obama-appointed crazy lunatics are going to wreck the agenda and my reputation. I was elected to implement by the American people. I'm not going to let you do it. And so these are the resources of my power. I'm going to put them against the resources of your power. We're going to see who wins. And that's exactly what's happening. I expect to see a whole lot more out of Pam Bondi's group. This is, again, a lot of stuff was punted. Department of Justice was weaponized in previous administrations, especially in the last one. And they certainly went over the top and went after Trump's people and put Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro in jail. So they played hardball and should have always expected hardball to go the other direction. And it is. And these judicial radicals who hold judge positions around the country, district judges, municipal judges, whoever they may be, they don't have immunity from scrutiny. And that's how this is going to go down with this Department of Justice under Trump. They've identified themselves as activists who are going to stand in the way of deportations. And of course, the Trump administration has every right in the world to go to war with them. They were warned. If there are lawbreakers and judges, whoever they may be, are part of it, they all need to go to jail. They all need to get wrapped up into a nice bow and thrown through the judicial process. And justice must prevail. And you don't get immunity just because you're one of them. And that holds true for up and down. Doesn't matter what level you're at. It's all the same game. And that's most evident with Judge Duggan. I think it's a great thing. And to answer the radical left, your hopes and dreams that you're going to have a bunch of judges, judicial activists stalling the Trump deportations in the Trump agenda generally, that tells you what you need to know. Yes, judges will be arrested. Yes, judges will be embarrassed, prosecuted, and thrown in jail. And there is no unfairness to it, because remember what you did when you controlled the Department of Justice. I don't see abuse of power here. I see co-equal branches of government fighting each other, and the judicial system, the judiciary, elected to attack the Trump administration. So he has the right to attack back because they started it. They could have all worked together, been a partnership, agree that these are the laws in the books and this is what we're going to do about it. But when you're trying to change it, you're trying to alter it, you're trying to prevent one party or one branch of government from doing its job as it was elected to do, expect there to be problems. And that's what a lot of these judges have been doing. They don't agree with the deportations. They've adopted the open border progressive playbook, and they've sworn to the Constitution, and they're the ones that decided to go against it by working against it in the security of our country. For this utopian view they have of bringing in socialist, communist, and Marxist migrants from all over the earth into the United States to change its basic character as a body of government. That judicial activism will not be tolerated. So I was very happy to see Judge Duggan get arrested. I don't care who it is. I don't care how long they've been on the bench. I've seen it myself, judicial activism. And whenever you see it, people who are perpetrated should be busted. You have to hold your judges to a high standard, because they're going to put the robes on, they need to represent the highest standard. And that means they have to uphold law and order. They may not always agree with it, but they swore to uphold it. And if you want to deal with the legislature and create rules on the books, then go run for Congress or the Senate and go make laws. But when it comes to enforcement, the Trump administration has the task of enforcing border security. And when you have undocumented or illegal workers or illegal aliens that you are in the process of deporting them, and the judge stands in the way of it, and the agents go to arrest the person, and the judge gets in the way of that, of course the judge should get in trouble for it, be arrested, and have the screws of justice applied to them in the most aggressive way possible, because they knowingly broke the law by assisting more lawbreakers to continue to break the law. And the assertion by the judge is, well, I don't agree with the law, so I'm going to give a wink and a nod and help you into my private part of the courtroom so I can hide you from the arrests. I'm going to stand in the way of justice being implemented. It's highly illegal, and any judge should know that. And Judge Dugan got herself in a lot of trouble because she decided to take the law in her own hand, just like any vigilante who would be prosecuted under any kind of courtroom. She made herself the bad guy. And the books of justice need to be thrown at her. Anyway, it's Rich Hoffman here. Share, subscribe. Make tomorrow a better day. If you ever read my book, The Gunfighter's Guide, the Gunfighter's Guide to Business, I think you'll love it. Anyway, have a good day. Got justice on my mind. See you later.